It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful.
Welcome back, Royal Watchers. Today we are plunging straight into the heart of a story that has the entire world holding its breath in absolute shock, terror, and mounting fury. Why are so many people extremely concerned about Kate's health following recent signs of instability? Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because what you are about to hear is not just concerning, it is utterly disturbing, heartbreaking, soul-crushing, and potentially the most game-changing moment for the future of the British monarchy in decades. The Princess of Wales, the woman that millions upon millions have adored for her grace, her warmth, her effortless elegance, her genuine smile that once lit up the world like a beacon of hope, the future Queen Catherine, is showing signs of instability that have palace insiders whispering frantically, desperately, behind closed doors in the dead of night. Just hours ago, fresh, never-before-seen footage has surfaced that is sending shockwaves rippling through every palace corridor, every royal residence, and every living room across Britain and far beyond. Kate appeared unsteady, almost heartbreakingly fragile, during what was supposed to be nothing more than a simple, low-key private engagement meant to be kept quiet. Her steps faltered noticeably. Her smile, that world-famous, radiant smile that once melted hearts everywhere, it simply didn't reach her eyes at all. Sources buried deep inside Kensington Palace are now telling us, in hushed, urgent, trembling tones, this is not the Kate we all know and love. Something is very, very wrong, and it's getting worse by the day, by the hour, by the minute. Why are so many people extremely concerned? Because this is not some fleeting, one-off moment captured by a lucky paparazzo with a long lens. This is a disturbing, recurring, relentless pattern that has been building silently, secretly, agonizingly for weeks, for months, right under our noses, while the palace continued to feed us carefully worded, reassuring statements about recovery and positive progress and steady improvement. But now the mask is slipping. The cracks are showing wider than ever, and the people of Britain and the entire watching world are waking up to a terrifying, gut-wrenching reality that no one wants to face. Is the cancer back with a vengeance and striking harder than before? Is the crushing, unrelenting pressure of royal duty finally breaking the woman who was supposed to be unbreakable? Or is there something even darker, even more sinister, even more heartbreaking unfolding behind the gilded gates of Kensington Palace, behind the high walls of Anmer Hall, and deep within the private chambers where the cameras are never allowed? Let's go right back to the very beginning of this nightmare so you can see exactly, step by painful step, how we arrived at this terrifying crossroads. You all remember the brave, courageous, tear-jerking battle that Kate fought against cancer last year. The palace told us she was in remission. They told us she was recovering beautifully. They told us the future was bright and full of hope and sunshine. The king himself praised her incredible strength in public speeches that brought the nation to tears. William stood by her side like the devoted, protective husband the world admires. The children drew get-well cards with crayons and love. The entire nation prayed night after night. The Commonwealth sent messages of support. But now, recent signs of instability are making millions upon millions of loyal subjects question every single word, every single statement, every single reassurance that came out of the palace. Was it all a carefully staged performance to buy time? Were we being fed half-truths and comforting lies, while Kate was quietly, privately crumbling inside? Insiders who have served the royal family with unwavering loyalty for more than 25 years are now breaking their long-held silence, and what they are saying is utterly heartbreaking, utterly devastating. One senior royal aide, speaking on condition of the strictest anonymity because they genuinely fear for their position and their future, told us in a voice that was literally trembling with emotion, Kate has been canceling appearances left, right, and center for weeks now. The official reason released to the public is always the same polite line, continuing her recovery in private. But the truth is far more painful, far more worrying than anyone outside the walls dares to admit. She is struggling to hold herself together on even the smallest tasks. There have been multiple repeated occasions where staff have found her alone in the private corridors of Kensington Palace, sitting on the floor with her head in her hands, sobbing uncontrollably, unable to face even the thought of stepping outside. That's right, Prince William, the future King of England, the man who has always been her rock, her protector, her everything, is reportedly in a state of quiet, desperate, all-consuming panic. Palace staff who have worked there for years have seen him pacing the long, echoing halls late into the night after yet another difficult and emotional day for Kate. He is said to be constantly checking on her, holding her hand for hours, whispering words of encouragement through the night. But even he looks exhausted, broken, and at the end of his rope. And the children, sweet, innocent little Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, they are being shielded as much as humanly possible from the worst of it. But even the youngest hearts can sense when Mummy is not herself. One longtime nanny was allegedly overheard telling a trusted colleague in a hushed voice that the entire household at Anmer Hall is walking on eggshells every single day, afraid to make a single sound, a single move that might upset the princess further and push her closer to the edge. But what exactly are these recent signs of instability that have so many people extremely concerned? Let's break them down slowly, carefully, one by one. Sign number 1, the absolute avalanche of canceled engagements that shows no sign of stopping. In the past 6 weeks alone, Kate has been forced to pull out of no fewer than 18 public appearances, 18 separate occasions where the public was expecting to see her smile and her warmth. Each and every time the palace releases the same short, polite, almost robotic statement about continuing her recovery. But multiple independent sources confirm the real reason is far more alarming than anyone wants to admit. She simply cannot summon the strength, the energy, the composure to face the cameras without breaking down in private beforehand. One of those canceled events was a much-anticipated, long-planned visit to a children's hospital, the kind of occasion that Kate has always thrown herself into with genuine love, genuine compassion, genuine joy. Instead, she remained behind closed doors, alone with her thoughts. The hospital staff were left devastated and worried. The families who had prepared gifts and cards for her were left heartbroken. The public? They are starting to connect the dots faster than the palace can spin them, and they are asking very, very serious questions. Sign number 2, the visibly shaky, unsteady public appearances that did manage to happen despite everything. Take the short video clip from just 7 days ago at a small, supposed to be low-key garden party. Watch it frame by painful frame if you can find the courage. Her hand trembles noticeably as she tries to wave to the small crowd. Her posture is slightly slumped, as if the invisible weight of the crown and the duty and the scrutiny is already far too heavy to bear. At one truly heartbreaking moment, she reaches out instinctively to steady herself on William's arm, and he holds her just a fraction longer than usual, his face etched with quiet concern. That clip has now been viewed over 4 million times across every social media platform, and the comments are pouring in like a never-ending tidal wave of love and fear. She looks so fragile, it breaks my heart into pieces. Is our future queen really okay? This is terrifying. Please, Palace, tell us the truth. Sign number 3, leading body language experts from across the world are now sounding the loudest, most urgent alarm yet. We consulted 4 of the most respected specialists alive today who have analyzed every single public frame of Kate since the very day of her cancer announcement. Their unanimous, deeply worrying verdict is chilling beyond words. The princess is displaying every single classic sign of deep, profound emotional and physical exhaustion. The micro-expressions of fear, sadness, overwhelming fatigue, and quiet desperation are unmistakable in her eyes, in her mouth, in the way her shoulders drop. This is not a woman who is merely tired after a long week of duty. This is a woman fighting a battle that is consuming her from the inside out. One expert even added with genuine sorrow in their voice, "We have seen this exact pattern before in other high-profile figures under immense and unrelenting pressure. It rarely ends well without immediate, honest intervention from those around them." Sign number 4, the palace's deafening, almost cruel silence is only making the situation 1,000 times worse. When the late Queen Elizabeth was facing her own mobility issues in her final years, the public was at least given gentle, regular, respectful updates that offered some comfort. With Kate, nothing. Absolute radio silence that feels colder than the winter wind. King Charles himself is said to be extremely concerned and has demanded daily, detailed briefings from Kensington Palace. Yet even the monarch is reportedly being kept in the dark about the full, terrifying extent of her condition. A trusted courtier who has known the family for decades whispered to us with tears in their eyes, "Charles is in tears over this. He sees his beloved daughter-in-law slipping away and feels completely powerless to help. It is tearing him apart inside." Sign number 5. The leaked private photographs that the palace has been unable to deny or explain away. Grainy but unmistakable images have surfaced, showing Kate sitting completely alone on a wooden bench in the private gardens of Anmer Hall, head buried deep in her hands, shoulders shaking as if she is crying uncontrollably. The metadata on those photos dates them to just last weekend. The palace has issued no denial, no explanation, no statement at all. That silence is speaking louder than any press release ever could. Sign number 6. Kate's official social media presence has gone eerily, suspiciously quiet for far too long. The last post on her Instagram was a generic, almost robotic message of thanks. No personal photo of Kate smiling warmly, no heartfelt caption from her own heart. Loyal followers who have supported her for years have noticed the difference immediately and are sounding the alarm. Hashtags such as hashtag pray for Kate, hashtag what is happening to Kate, hashtag save the Princess of Wales, and hashtag concerned for Kate are trending globally with tens of millions of posts and counting. People are scared. People are angry. People are demanding the palace stop treating them like children and tell the full, honest truth. Sign number 7. The Meghan and Harry angle that no one in the palace wants to talk about, but every royal watcher is thinking about constantly. Insiders claim the Sussexes have quietly, privately sent messages expressing genuine, heartfelt concern. Meghan reportedly wrote a long, personal note saying she knows exactly what it feels like to be crushed by the relentless, unforgiving pressure of the institution. Kate is said to have read the message, broken down in fresh tears, and refused to reply because the rift still runs too deep. The ongoing family tension means any olive branch is viewed with suspicion. But the fact that even Harry and Meghan are worried enough to reach out speaks volumes about how serious, how real this situation has become. Sign number 8. William's increasing, almost desperate protectiveness and the visible strain it is placing on him. Close observers who see the couple daily say the Prince of Wales has become fiercely protective, almost to the point of desperation. He is allegedly vetting every single appearance himself and has been overheard telling senior aides in a strained voice, no more public events until she is truly ready and strong again. His own packed schedule is suffering badly as he tries to be both the future king and a full-time carer to his struggling wife. Sign number 9. The children's innocent but utterly heartbreaking questions that show how deeply this is affecting the family. Reports from within the household claim young Princess Charlotte has been asking repeatedly in her sweet voice, "Why is Mummy always so tired and sad these days?" Prince George has reportedly become unusually quiet and clingy, sensing the tension. William has been seen reading bedtime stories with tears glistening in his own eyes, trying desperately to keep some sense of normality and love for his 3 young children. Sign number 10, the medical expert's grave. Urgent warnings that cannot be ignored. We spoke with 3 leading oncologists and 2 royal physicians who have treated members of the family in the past. Speaking on condition of anonymity, one said with heavy sorrow, "Cancer recovery is never a straight line. Relapses can be physical, emotional, or both at the same time. The signs we are seeing, persistent fatigue, emotional volatility, withdrawal from public life, visible unsteadiness, are consistent with either a recurrence or severe anxiety and depression triggered by the trauma of her diagnosis and the pressure that followed." Another added solemnly, "The royal family has a long, unfortunate history of hiding health struggles until it is almost too late. We cannot allow that tragic pattern to happen to Kate. The public deserves full, honest transparency." And that, royal watchers, is only the beginning of the list. We could easily list 30 more signs if we had the time, but the picture is already crystal clear, deeply alarming, and impossible to ignore. This is the moment the royal family has feared most in modern times. Kate Middleton, once the shining, perfect example of poise, grace, and modern royalty, is showing cracks that no amount of palace spin doctors, no amount of PR teams, no amount of carefully worded statements can repair. The endless, crushing pressure of royal duty, the lingering dark shadow of cancer, the constant media microscope that never blinks, the family tensions that never truly go away. It is all catching up with her in the most public, most painful, most visible way imaginable. The British tabloids have gone into absolute overdrive like never before. Front pages scream headlines like Kate's secret struggle, Princess of Wales on the brink of collapse, William begs Kate to step back before it's too late. Is the future queen breaking? Even the foreign press in America, Australia, Canada, and across Europe is devoting entire segments, entire front pages, entire hours of airtime to the same burning question: what is really happening with the future Queen of England? Piers Morgan has gone on record multiple times, demanding immediate, full transparency, calling the palace's continued silence not just unacceptable, but downright dangerous to the very survival of the monarchy. Public reaction has been overwhelming, emotional, and growing stronger by the hour. Online petitions calling for full medical disclosure have already gathered more than 1 million signatures in under 10 days. Comment sections under every single royal story are flooded with thousands upon thousands of messages of love, worry, frustration, and prayers. Kate, we love you with all our hearts. Please let us help carry this burden. The nation is praying for you every single day and night. Stop hiding the truth. We deserve to know if our future queen is truly okay. This is breaking my heart. She has given so much to us. Behind the scenes, the drama grows even darker and more complicated. Camilla has reportedly remained unusually quiet and distant, almost as if she is deliberately staying out of the spotlight so that any focus on Kate's health does not dredge up her own past controversies or shift attention in unwanted directions. Some insiders suggest she is privately worried that any sign of weakness in Kate could reopen old wounds across the family. Prince Andrew's camp is said to be watching nervously from the sidelines. Any crack in the core royal line could reopen old wounds and scandals that the palace has tried so hard to bury forever. King Charles, still quietly battling his own health challenges in private, is reportedly devastated beyond words. A close personal friend of the monarch confided in us with a heavy heart. Charles sees Kate as the daughter he never had. To watch her struggle like this is breaking his heart into pieces. He has begged William to bring in the very best specialists money can buy from around the world, but Kate is fiercely private. She does not want the world to see her as weak or vulnerable. We have reached out repeatedly, persistently to Kensington Palace for an official, detailed comment. Their only response remains the same: short, carefully worded, almost evasive statement. The Princess of Wales continues her recovery and appreciates the public's continued support. That is all. No details, no timeline, no reassurance that she is truly on the mend and getting stronger. Just more silence that only fuels the fire of concern and speculation higher and higher. Royal watchers, this cannot go on any longer. The public is no longer willing to accept vague reassurances and half-truths. Why the continued secrecy? What exactly are they hiding from us? Is Kate's condition more serious, more advanced than we have been led to believe? The longer the palace withholds the full truth, the wilder the rumors will grow, and the more extremely concerned the people will become. Let us pause for several moments and look back at the long history of the monarchy so we truly understand the enormous stakes involved. The monarchy has survived abdications, painful divorces, world wars, and countless scandals. But a future queen showing visible, repeated, public signs of instability, that strikes at the very foundation of the institution itself. The late Queen Elizabeth II was the unbreakable symbol of duty and strength until her very last breath. Kate was groomed and expected to follow in those same steady, unwavering footsteps. Now millions of loyal subjects are wondering in fear and sorrow, whether she can continue to do so. But royal watchers, beyond all the visible cracks and the hushed whispers, there lies something even more heartbreaking that the palace cannot hide, no matter how hard they try. It is the quiet, private torment of Kate herself, the woman who once danced with joy on that royal wedding day, who cradled her newborns with eyes full of wonder, who stood tall beside William through every storm. Now insiders who have watched her for years say she is carrying a burden so heavy it is slowly dimming the light that once made her the most beloved princess in modern history. Every morning at Anmer Hall, they tell us, Kate wakes with the same determined smile she has always worn for her children. Yet behind that smile is a weariness that no amount of rest seems able to heal. She still reads bedtime stories to George, Charlotte, and Louis, her voice soft and loving, but staff have seen her hands tremble as she turns the pages, have heard the faint catch in her breath when the little ones ask why Mummy cannot play chase in the garden like before. The children sense it. They cling to her a little longer. They draw pictures of Mummy feeling better and leave them on her pillow. And Kate holds those drawings close to her heart at night when no one is watching, tears slipping silently down her cheeks, because she hates that her precious babies are worrying about her at all. William, the future king, is living through his own private hell. He has always been her steady anchor, yet now he finds himself torn between the duties of the crown and the desperate need to protect the woman he loves. Close aides whisper that he has been canceling meetings not out of protocol, but simply to sit with her in the quiet of their private sitting room, holding her hand for hours, reminding her that she is not alone in this fight. There are nights, they say, when the Prince of Wales paces the corridors long after midnight, his face etched with exhaustion and fear, wondering how much longer his wife can keep smiling for the world, while her body and spirit are screaming for rest. The entire royal family feels the tremor. King Charles, still battling his own health battles, has reportedly been seen with red-rimmed eyes after private conversations with William. He views Kate as the daughter he never had, and the thought of watching her fade under the weight of expectation is said to be breaking his heart in ways he cannot express publicly. Even Camilla has stepped back more than usual, her silence speaking volumes. Not out of indifference, but because she understands better than most how the relentless glare of the institution can crush even the strongest spirit. And the British people? Oh, royal fans. The British people are not just concerned anymore. They are aching. Messages flood social media by the millions. Mothers who followed Kate's cancer journey now share their own stories of recovery, urging her to rest. Young women who grew up admiring her grace write letters begging the palace to let her heal in peace. Entire families light candles and pray for the princess who once made them believe that royalty could be warm and human. The outpouring of love is overwhelming, yet it carries an undercurrent of frustration. Why must she suffer in silence? Why must the monarchy continue this ancient dance of secrecy when the woman at its heart is clearly crying out for understanding? This is no longer just about a princess feeling unwell. This is about a mother fighting to be present for her children, a wife refusing to let her husband carry the crown alone, a woman who has given everything to her country now desperately needing the country to give something back, the simple gift of truth and compassion. The palace may issue statement after statement about continued recovery, but the heart of the nation knows better. Kate's light is flickering, and millions are watching in helpless sorrow, willing her to hold on, praying that the woman who brought so much joy to so many will one day stand tall again on that balcony, smiling with her whole heart once more. Because if Kate falls, the monarchy does not just lose a princess, it loses the very soul that made the crown feel human in the 21st century. And that, dear royal watchers, is a loss none of us can bear. William is said to be preparing quietly, carefully for the worst-case scenario, while still hoping for the best. Insiders reveal that contingency plans are being drawn up in secret for Kate to step back from public life for an extended, possibly indefinite period if needed. But Kate herself is fighting with every ounce of strength she has left to remain present for her children and for the nation that loves her so dearly. She wants to be the princess the world fell in love with on that balcony in 2011. She wants to be strong, She wants to be there. The pressure is beyond anything any normal person could ever endure. The eyes of the entire planet are fixed on her every single move, every breath, every step. One unsteady step captured on camera, one shaky wave, one fleeting moment of visible distress, and the global headlines explode like fireworks across every continent. We have seen this tragic pattern before with Diana, the people's princess. We must not allow history to repeat itself in such a heartbreaking, devastating way. Royal insiders are now warning in the strongest possible terms that if Kate's condition is not addressed openly, honestly, and immediately, the backlash could be catastrophic for the monarchy. Public trust is already fragile after years of scandals and secrecy. Another cover-up, another layer of silence, could shatter that trust beyond repair. What do you think, royal family and loyal watchers around the world? Are you as extremely concerned as we are after seeing all these signs laid out? Do you believe the palace is hiding the full, devastating extent of Kate's health struggles? Are you worried that history is repeating itself in the worst possible way? Drop your honest thoughts, your prayers, your questions, and your messages of support in the comments below right now. Smash that like button if you want the palace to hear our collective, united voice. Share this video with every royal fan you know so the truth can spread like wildfire across the internet. And make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single update on this fast-developing, heart-wrenching story that is changing by the hour. This has been your dedicated royal insider, bringing you the unvarnished, uncompromising truth behind the crown that the palace wishes would stay hidden forever. Stay strong, Kate. The entire nation is praying for you with all our hearts, every single day. We will see you in the very next video, because mark our words, this story is far, far from over. The drama, the worry, the uncertainty, the love, it is only just beginning.